Good morning, Oviedo. I'm Carrie Lynn.
And I'm Katie. Today is Wednesday, February 1st. Carolyn, can you believe it's already February?
I can't. Our senior year is going to be over before we know it.
And only 6 weeks until spring break, but who's counting?
We have a bit of a food theme going on.
Ashlyn stopped by a local donut shop that ranked in the top 15 nationally.
And Allison takes a look at our newly remodeled Lion's Den Cafe.
Leanne also discusses why today is National Freedom Day.
And Patrick takes a look back at the legacy of Colonel Nardo.
Please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Some mornings I need something different than my typical bowl of cereal at breakfast.
It adds some excitement to pick up something different for breakfast, and while it may be a bit outside of Oviedo, one of our reporters stopped by a nationally recognized donut shop to see what the hype was all about.
Here's Ashlyn on why to consider getting the opportunity to treat yourself with Donut King.
Donut King is a family-owned business that opened up in Mineola, Florida in 2007. They're known for their Cajun food, castle burgers, and don't forget the delicious donuts that were ranked 11th in the nation.
If I get married again, this is gonna be my cake.
Oh my god! Oh my god, you guys have to try this. It's really good. Thank you.
It's nutritious and delicious.
Are you sure this is a donut? Because this is amazing.
My favorite part about Donut King is the variety. I mean, they got some wacky kind of donuts from maple bacon to, you know, the glaze.
Do not forget to bring some back for your friends. For WROR-TV, I'm Ashlyn Register. Now back to our anchors.
I don't know about you, but I don't think I turned down the chance to get a donut from anywhere.
You know what goes good with donuts?
Orange juice.
Well, I guess, but I prefer coffee. The student-run Lion's Den Cafe has a new setup in the media center.
This transition has been a long time in the making, but it's finally up and running as Allison Archer reports.
Well, recently it's been cold, so it just warms me up a little bit, but every morning I drink coffee, and like this is the place to go to, you know, instead of having to like go to like McDonald's or stop by somewhere on the way to school, you know, I can just come here. It's a lot easier, you know, better access and everything.
And we've been doing it about 2.5 years. So we started out real small, just at the counter and such, selling coffee, moved up to, you know, adding different snacks and such. We eventually opened up a bagel station over there, and we opened up here in the media center this year in November. Over there in the classroom, of course, we were very condensed, you know, and didn't have a whole lot of room. Here we have this whole area back here.
In the classroom, there's only be like 3 or 4 people coming in to get stuff, but in here there's a lot of people. We always get rushed in a little around this time.
It's a lot more open. There's tables you could sit at, you know, when you have your bagels and everything. It's really easy to just sit down and get everything done.
The Lion's Den Cafe not only satisfies coffee and bagel cravings for its customers, but it provides a great opportunity for the students behind the counter as well.
I've learned the temperatures, the safe zones. I've learned all the safety measurements for like when you own a restaurant or when you're a manager at a restaurant that you should take place at that restaurant.
And they're getting work-based skills, how to work with customers, how to get along with each other, because they are working together and they have to be able to get along. They're also getting hands-on experience with equipment. It's not just like going in your kitchen at home and preparing breakfast.
I really like the hospitality. The people who work here, like they're students, they have to, but like they're open, they're nice, they say good morning.
It gives me kind of like a sort of responsibility, kind of, because you're helping other people and giving them what they need.
National Honor Society is now accepting spring applications for sophomores and juniors only. If you have a 3.75 GPA, see Mrs. McKernan in 8021. Applications are due no later than February 3rd.
The ASVAB test will be given in the Media Center on February 28th. Sign up in the NJROTC building by February 21st. This test is free and open to anyone.
Schedule requests for next year are due this week. 11th graders are due today, 10th grade tomorrow, and 9th grade on Friday.
The Oviedo High Drama Department is putting on the production of The Giver February 17th and 18th. Tickets will be sold in advance and at the door.
Back in December, then President Obama declared January to be National Slavery and Human Trafficking Awareness Month.
This month-long campaign culminates today with National Freedom Day, which observes the signing of the 13th Amendment.
Leanne Figueroa discusses the seriousness of human trafficking and argues why you shouldn't take this issue lightly.
In our small town of Oviedo, it's hard to imagine the harsh realities that others face. What if I told you that as close as the greater Orlando area, appalling crimes against young people just like you and me were taking place? It's the unfortunate truth that Central Florida has become a hub for human trafficking in the United States. It's sadly public places like this where traffickers look for their victims. Any person of any background can be taken and trafficked into illegal industries such as prostitution or undocumented labor. The busy atmosphere of Florida has made it an ideal location for primarily sex trafficking to take place. Floridian advocacy groups such as Florida Abolitionist and the Greater Orlando Human Trafficking Task Force have played a large part in helping victims over the years. But it is public awareness leading to prevention that can truly make a difference. You and your friends can stay safe by always staying together, avoiding isolated places, and reporting any suspicious activity to our local non-emergency number. It's here on National Freedom Day that we acknowledge our progress and admit there's still much work to do. When joining the fight to end these heinous crimes, remember one thing: positivity and perseverance will always prevail. For Oviedo High School, I'm Leanne Figueroa.
And finally, most of you have probably noticed the name Colonel Nardo on our NJROTC building. But unless you're a senior, you probably don't know much about him.
Our graduating class will be the last to have known the late Colonel. Patrick Moorhead takes a look back at the legacy he left on our NJROTC program.
I do not know who Colonel Nardo is.
And I do not know who Colonel Nardo is.
I never heard of
I'm guessing he attended the school.
And I do not know who that is. I assume it's the guy on the building.
I've been there, actually, but I go to get snacks, but I never paid attention.
This year's senior class was the last to know Colonel Nardo before he passed away in 2014 after a battle with cancer. However, his legacy still resonates throughout the school and is particularly important to all the members of NJROTC.
I remember he was very sick my freshman year. We didn't see him very much, but on work recognition, and I think it's November, he showed up even though he was really not supposed to go anywhere. The doctor said not to go anywhere, but you know, that just showed the dedication he had to the unit.
As him being a Marine, I thought, well, he's going to be a mean guy, and that was my first initial reaction. And as it turns out, he's a great guy. You just felt like you've known him all your life. He was your friend.
He was a colonel, but you'd never know that if you didn't know him. Like, it wasn't like ego at all. It was just, that's Colonel Nardo, and he's like my grandfather outside of my grandfather, outside of my family.
At that time, the program was very small, and he built it from where it was to where it is today.
He was the one who started all of this, and
out of respect, be kind to others like he was to all of us. He's one of the kindest men I have ever met in my entire life.
The students adored him. His parents, volunteers adored him. Everyone at Oviedo High School adored Colonel Nardo.
And it was really, really sad when he developed cancer and it started eating away. You could see, even through all that, he still kept a great attitude. He kept a wonderful smile. But it was really, really tough when he got real sick. You could just kind of feel an attitude through the unit that it wasn't quite the same as it was when he was here.
He kind of motivated people just to be the best people they can, just because it was the right thing to do. Not because somebody was telling them to do it or because they had an obligation, but just because you have one life on this earth and you got to be the best person that you can.
His legacy is going to live on. One of our students right now, their dad was in the '93 class, his first class. So it continues on. It's going to carry on for a long time to come.
It's always important to remember the people that came before us to lay foundation, and Colonel Nardo did just that.
That's all for today, Oviedo. I'm Katie.
And I'm Carrie Lynn, signing off.